First stage, realize. I love this slide. Realize, and realize. We have to realize all of the above. Here's the experience of the realize stage. You realize a couple things. Change is happening, as I mentioned before, or change must happen. You create the awareness. You create the awareness around how this is impacting your life. Once you create the awareness of how it impacts your life, now you have to create the vision of how you want the outcome to be. Even if it is a devastating change, create the best possible outcome. Create that vision. That's really important to do in this first stage. Let's take a look at what transformation feels like in the first stage. You may experience an awakening or a heightened sense of awareness, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? And all of a sudden, life wakes you up and you're in problem-solving mode. You may feel isolated and just want to self-reflect and analyze and just disconnect from the world for a little while to try to figure things out. That's perfectly normal. You may feel a lack of purpose, especially if you have an epiphany like I did. It's like, wow, what is the purpose of life anyway? What the heck? What am I doing here? Nothing is fulfilling me. And I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't put my finger on it. No, I felt like I had a lack of purpose through a lot of this stage. You may even see some of your relationships and friendships change because you're changing now. Many times when you begin to change, that can scare other people, almost threaten them to think, well, if they're changing, that means I have to change and I'm not ready to change. Many times you're not vibrating at the same energy level anymore as you're beginning to move into this new aspect of your life. So pay attention to that. It's really interesting. That could happen in this stage. Actually, that can happen at any stage. You will feel a calling for something greater or something better, something happier. You'll find sometimes that meaningful activities all of a sudden become mundane. Like stuff that you thought was interesting and great, all of a sudden that's not so important. You'd rather be working on personal development, for example, or something else. Just you'll see some changes in hobbies and things. If it's a change that happens by default, you might even be in a state of shock or disbelief in this realize stage, which may take you a little bit longer to get through it. That's the realize stage. Let's do something that I like to call mirror time. This is where we have an opportunity to really look at ourselves in the mirror and see what's going on. And this is just a little sampling of what the training program is about. The first thing we're going to do is identify the change that's happening. Let's get really specific on what's happening in your life. Now you can write these down. The next step is to visualize the greatest outcome of what is happening and write down that vision, the first vision that comes to mind. And then thirdly, this is pretty profound. Think about sitting on your porch swing. You're 100 years old. You're looking back on life. Maybe you have your grandchild next to you. You're sipping some ice cold lemonade, or if you're in Texas, it's sweet tea. What do you imagine sharing with that grandchild about your life at this age, this current age, that would make you so proud to share? That is some deep, heavy soul searching. But when you can answer that question, that will give you an inkling of what track to be on at this point in your life.